My name is Bilal Akil, and today is another episode of Drawing and Painting in London. I'll be doing some abstract works today, and like my previous episodes, if you're not kind of a follower of previous episodes, I kind of paint freestyle, and I tend to do abstract and whatever it suits my fancy. I kind of don't have any particular structure to what I'm going to be talking about, and I'll just kind of be talking about topics that may be of interest, may not be of interest, but generally ideas of philosophy or colours or whatever it might be whilst I'm drawing. So it's an insight of kind of being in an art studio or kind of being in an open air kind of studio where I kind of draw things that come to my kind of mind. I might later on develop these works, or I think they stand as works on their own. If you're seeking for inspiration or you're stuck in doing some watercolor, and then you could perhaps see this as some form of inspiration. This is not necessarily a kind of a how-to, but it can be treated like that if you want to. Now, it could be treated to, you could take this episode as whatever you want it to be. So totally up to you. I will start kind of drawing and painting. I tend to have this likeness for yellow and ochres, but I'm also feeling this kind of desire to paint in deep purples and dark kind of blacks. I don't know, I don't know what that is. Oh, that looks like a black. Deep burgundies. I kind of want to make it into kind of a Rothko kind of feel. For those that are not familiar with Rothko, he was an American, later on abstract expressionist painter. He's well known for his kind of dark rectangular or square type paintings. And if I get the opportunity, I'll also show you some of his works if we go to some of the galleries, and I'll talk you through some of the works that I quite find inspiring. But this is not a Roscoe at all, this is just me. But I am inclined to kind of make this into a kind of a deep, dark colour. I just feel drawn to it. But be free. Can't forget to always keep it loose. Wherever in the world you are, let me know what you think. Things that I could paint, things you want to see in the channel. Do you want to see more cars? Do you want to see more art galleries? Do you want to see everything? Shall we switch it up? Shall we paint this, if we can, in a gallery? Perhaps we can. I don't know if they'll allow me. Some galleries, some people get offended. Or they think it's scary that they might damage their actual paintings that are covered in glass anyway with these watercolors. But we will see what we can do. I have taken watercolors in. I might take pencils in because it's a drier medium. And see. I quite like how this kind of turquoise blue bounces around. Let's see if we can mix that with the deeper kind of colors. Quite heavily pigmented colors. Mix the brands. I'm using two different brands here. I want more of this yellow. I'm feeling more of this yellow, but that's ochre yellow, but that's fine. Let's put some more of that ochre yellow there. Oh, I want to see some more of this kind of deep purples. Yes. Quite inclined to see what's happening in museums, so I said this in previous episodes, and I might kind of go and spend some time in an art gallery, and obviously I'll show you around. If I have the opportunity to do so, I surely will. There's no shortage of me talking about art for sure, but I haven't actually released any of me talking on art, and I will. I think I do need to. I think that's something I will kind of do. So please let me know in the comment section below what you think. Shall I go to an art gallery? Do you want me to kind of give you my talk through of of paintings, what people might have been thinking, at least from a point of view, from an artist's point of view, and my kind of reading of paintings. It'll be educational. Might put that in. Perhaps we can do that for a later episode. It might be easier to actually paint indoors for future episodes because it's getting quite cold. My hands are cold, although the sun is shining and I have to show you around. We have a look around there, nice blue skies, but I am cold. Perhaps it's because I'm getting old. Well, I haven't had much something to eat, but I have. I've had a full breakfast. Thank you very much to my mum's breakfast. Look at that. That's how it is. Let's see if we can get, oh, nice greens. You know, actually, when I'm painting, I always think, oh, I should go to an art shop and see what else I can find there. Although what I have is more or less more than enough. I have so many art supplies. I mean, those that went to art school with me will kind of tell you that I am an addict when it comes to art materials, and I study what I'm buying. I research each pigment, what colors, what brands, look at every YouTube video on paint and paper as well. I like going to kind of paper shops, checking out the GSM of papers. Whilst I'm talking on paper, I will say that just on the grams of the paper, so normally if a printer paper or kind of small thin paper, it's around like 30, 40, 50 grams. 90 grams would be a quality kind of paper. Printer paper tends to be about 80 GSM. And the higher quality paper, if you go for kind of other kind of makes, for kind of drawing paper, tends to be around 120, 150. It'll tell you on the front of the packet, it'll tell you like whether it's printer paper. And you can use any paper for drawing, whatever takes your fancy. Watercolor, because it has to absorb the water. This is actually cotton paper. This is actually, this is around 300 GSM, so high grade stuff. 350, I think, GSM. And so it's always good to kind of know what the GSM and what your intended purpose of the paper is. If it's drawing, you can get by like 80, 90. Color pencils, you know, 90 GSM would be good, 100 GSM really nice, 120, 150 GSM really good quality. Japanese paper is quite interesting. It's quite light, but it is really absorbent. So generally, if you go up, there's, you know, I've got some paper which is like 600 GSM. That is like card and it's thick, and you could, if you gessoed it, you could probably do oil painting on that. Definitely some acrylics. This will be just good enough for watercolors. It won't buckle no matter how many layers you kind of tend to have on this. There is Wasli paper, which is used in Pakistan and Iran for miniature painting, and you can layer that as well. But I'm using pure ivory colored 350 GSM with decals kind of showing. Look at that, just the details of those. I like it. I find it nice. I like it. One of those things. I also like the watercolors. I'm quite particular about artist grade. I think it's nice to be able to have lovely pigments and good quality stuff. Look at that. I like the way that yellow kind of pops out. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see what other damage we could do to this painting. I want to bring some more kind of deep purples in. Whoa, ended up being a blue, which is fine. Let's bring in some yellows. See how that mixes in. Whoa, what am I doing? I don't know. Which is fine, we don't know. Bit of orangey there, it's fantastic. Get some space for orange there. Some space for a bit of blue here. Oh, look at that, that's lovely. Let's darken it so it kind of gets more composed. Let's have a look. See, add some nice blues there. See how that kind of mixture comes in. Bringing the blues in. Want to bring in some kind of darker, deeper reds. Let's do that. Let's bring in some darker, deeper reds, purples and alizarin crimsons, and which is now what turned into like a purple kind of color. Oh yes. What happened to that kind of? I had this kind of rose color. Oh, there we go. That's more of that kind of rosy kind of color there. Sits quite well. So notice that a lot of it, my brushstrokes are quite vertical on a landscape, and I kind of tend to like that. It tends to work for me. Perhaps we can mix it up. I think that would be it for now, for today, for this painting. I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for more. Until then, take care, stay warm, and if you're really warm, in a warm place, stay cool, take care, goodbye.